Also this afternoon, the trial date for the Tipp City man accused of murdering his wife has now been pushed back.
The court met today for a hearing to go over a motion moved by the prosecution to ask for more time to review and turn over evidence.
Careful review and advisement by counsel. We have confirmed a date. The trial will begin on Thursday, September 17th and continue.
On March 18, 2026, a Miami County grand jury returned an 11-count indictment against Caleb Carl Flynn, age 39, of Tipp City, Ohio. The charges fall into 4 categories, and each one tells you something specific about how the state of Ohio intends to prosecute this case. The most serious charge is aggravated murder. Under Ohio law, that charge requires the prosecution to prove prior calculation and design, meaning the killing was planned, not impulsive. Alongside it sit 3 additional murder counts, each representing a separate legal path to a guilty verdict. Then come 2 counts of felonious assault with a deadly weapon, providing further legal coverage for the prosecution's theory of the attack. 3 counts of evidence tampering follow. These are directly tied to the state's claim that the crime scene was staged to look like a home invasion. Every piece of physical evidence the prosecution intends to present connects back to these counts. Finally, 2 misdemeanor counts of witness intimidation. Under Ohio law, this charge does not require physical threats. Pressure and deliberate influence are sufficient. These 2 counts cover a precise 48-hour window, February 16th through February 18th, 2026, the period between the 911 call and Caleb Flynn's arrest. Caleb Flynn pleaded not guilty to all 11 counts. His defense attorney, L. Patrick Mulligan, publicly questioned the pace and thoroughness of the investigation and raised concerns about what he called a rush to judgment. Prosecutor Paul Watkins confirmed the state had already supplied the defense with up to 2 terabytes of discovery data, with new material still arriving. This case is still unfolding. The trial is set for September 17th, 2026, and new information is entering the record regularly. Subscribe to Fatal Files so you do not miss a single development. At 2:31 in the morning on February 16th, 2026, a 911 dispatcher received a call from Caleb Flynn. He said someone had broken into his home at 932 Cunningham Court in Tipp City, Ohio, that the garage door was wide open, and that his wife had been shot. Officers arrived and found Ashley Flynn, 37, in the master bedroom. She had sustained 2 9mm gunshot wounds to the head. 2 shell casings were on the bedroom floor. Officers then moved to the garage. On the north side of the home, the side door was open, but a large refrigerator was positioned directly in front of it. The door could not have been opened from outside without first physically moving the appliance. There were no scratches on the floor, no drag marks, no evidence it had been moved that night. An officer documented this in a supplemental case report later filed with the court. Also in the garage, a 2024 Ford truck with its center console open. Caleb had told officers his handgun was stored in that console. Bodycam footage, released by Tipp City Police on March 2, 2026, showed Caleb outside the home, sobbing, calling his mother and Ashley's mother, telling both that someone had broken in. At one point, he was visibly ill in the front yard. That same day, he voluntarily agreed to speak with detectives at the Tipp City Police Department. 3 days later, on February 19th, he was arrested. The criminal complaint used language that would anchor the entire prosecution. Investigators wrote that they had been led astray by the staging of the crime scene. Tipp City Police Chief Greg Atkins stated publicly that as a result of the investigation, probable cause existed to charge Caleb Flynn with the murder of his wife. While the criminal case moved forward, Ashley Flynn's family retained their own attorney and filed court documents requesting the couple's complete financial records, bank accounts, retirement funds, real estate, vehicles, and insurance policies. Those filings revealed that Caleb Flynn was listed as the primary beneficiary on Ashley's life insurance policy. Her family argued in their filing that he had the means and opportunity to move or transfer assets before any legal judgment could be reached. They asked the court to issue a domestic violence temporary protection order to freeze the couple's joint accounts. Ohio's Slayer statute is relevant here. Under that law, a person convicted of killing a family member cannot collect life insurance proceeds, inheritance, or trust funds from that person. If Caleb Flynn is convicted, every applicable dollar transfers to his daughters. A second name entered the public record around this time, Alega Botner. She served as a worship leader at Christian Life Center in Dayton, the same church where Caleb led worship. The two regularly appeared on stage together as part of the church's music team. Within days of Ashley's death, Botner resigned from her position without any public statement. She is now on the prosecution's witness list. Reports attributed to leaked court documents allege that investigators recovered deleted messages suggesting ongoing communication between Caleb and another individual, with intensity increasing in the days before February 16th. An alleged text sent at 12:42 a.m. that morning, less than 2 hours before the 911 call, reportedly read, "It's almost done. These details remain unverified in open court and are allegations only." The prosecution's witness list, the financial filings, and Alega Botner's expected testimony. All of it comes out at trial. Subscribe to Fatal Files. We will be covering every day of these proceedings starting September 17th. At his initial arraignment, Caleb Flynn told Judge Samuel Huffman two things: that he wanted to take care of his daughters, and that he was not a risk. Judge Huffman set bond at $2 million. That changed after the grand jury. When the 11-count indictment was handed down on March 18, 2026, Judge Janine N. Pratt raised the bond to $3.5 million. She also issued a no-contact order, barring Caleb from any communication with his daughters. Defense attorney L. Patrick Mulligan stated publicly that the bond denied his client the ability to attend Ashley's funeral, a consequence he described as an injustice for a man with no prior criminal record and 2 children who needed a parent. The bond remained in place. On April 6, 2026, Judge Pratt disclosed something at a scheduled hearing that had not been widely reported. A staff attorney she had recently hired had previously worked at the Miami County Prosecutor's Office during the period when the Flynn case was under investigation. Pratt confirmed the staff attorney had no involvement in case strategy or grand jury proceedings. The disclosure was a matter of legal transparency. Still, it required a formal response. Caleb Flynn was placed under oath. Judge Pratt asked him directly whether he understood his right to request reassignment to a different judge. He confirmed he understood, and he signed a written waiver. Judge Pratt remained on the case. Prosecutor Paul Watkins noted at this same period that the state had supplied up to 2 terabytes of discovery to the defense, with new evidence continuing to arrive. The original trial date was April 28, 2026. It did not happen. In mid-April, Prosecutor Paul Watkins filed a motion for a 4-day continuance. On April 11th, a Saturday, the prosecution received an expert report from the defense. Ohio law requires the prosecution to receive such reports at least 21 days before trial. The April 28th date did not meet that requirement. Judge Pratt granted the motion. The new date became May 4th. That date also did not happen. On April 24th, defense attorney L. Patrick Mulligan filed a motion for a 21-day delay. The court record stated that the state had continued to provide voluminous discovery, some of which was actually relevant, and that expert witness notice requirements needed more time. Judge Pratt granted the continuance on April 28th. May 4th was canceled. On May 7th and 8th, a scheduling conference was held. Judge Pratt set the new trial date, September 17th, 2026, expected to run 2 weeks. Both sides agreed to submit by May 15th a list of areas within the Flynn residence they want the jury to view in person. Prosecutor Watkins has noted that Ohio's speedy trial clock, based on the February 19th arrest, pointed toward a statutory deadline around July 4th. Defense filed continuances toll that clock. September 17th remains within legal bounds. Caleb Flynn has not accepted any plea agreement. 3 postponements and a September trial date. This case is far from settled. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. When September 17th arrives, you will want to already be here. In the days before the original April trial date, defense attorney L. Patrick Mulligan filed a notice introducing a new expert witness to the case. The filing did not name the expert, identify their field, or describe what their testimony would cover. What it did was halt the trial and force a recalculation on both sides. In a case built on an alleged staged crime scene, the physical evidence is not just one part of the prosecution's argument. It is the argument. The state's entire theory depends on the jury accepting that the scene at 932 Cunningham Court was deliberately arranged to mislead investigators. Challenging that interpretation with an independent expert is not a defensive maneuver. It is a direct attack on the foundation of the prosecution's case. The refrigerator is the most likely target. If the defense expert can demonstrate that entry through the north side garage door was physically possible without moving the appliance, the staging theory loses its most concrete support. Mulligan also filed a separate request for the jury to visit 932 Cunningham Court in person before deliberations. Both sides confirmed in court they are open to the visit, provided the home reflects its condition on the night of February 16th. Each side was to submit a list of specific areas they want jurors to see by May 15th. Judge Pratt had not yet issued a ruling on the visit as of May 8, 2026. Mulligan has publicly argued that cases where the surviving spouse is the only adult present carry a heightened structural risk of wrongful conviction. Caleb Flynn's not guilty plea has not changed through 3 scheduled trial dates. At a pre-trial hearing in April 2026, prosecutors disclosed they may call Caleb Flynn's 2 daughters to testify. The girls are 9 and 12 years old. They were inside 932 Cunningham Court on the night of February 16th. According to Caleb's 911 call, they were asleep when their mother was killed. Beyond Caleb himself, they are the only people who were in that house that night. Prosecutor Paul Watkins asked the court to implement special accommodations if the children testify, adjusted courtroom layout, possible physical screens, and a support person seated beside them. Defense attorney L. Patrick Mulligan argued that the prosecution must first demonstrate to the court that each specific measure is legally necessary. Judge Pratt said she would issue a written ruling. As of May 8, 2026, it had not been released. The weight of the daughter's potential testimony is significant for both sides. If what they recall is consistent with their father's account, the defense gains credible, first-hand support from witnesses who were inside the home. If any part of their recollection conflicts with his timeline, the prosecution gains ground it cannot get from any forensic chart or expert report. Alega Botner remains on the state's witness list. She has made no public statement since resigning from Christian Life Center. The content of her expected testimony has not been characterized in any public filing. What she says when she takes the stand will be among the most closely watched moments of the trial. Ashley's family secured financial protections early, without waiting for a verdict. The daughters are with extended family. A community fundraiser for the girls surpassed $175,000 from more than 1,400 donors. A public memorial was replaced by a private service. The people of Tipp City moved quickly to protect what remained of Ashley Flynn's world. As of May 8, 2026, trial date, September 17th. Duration, 2 weeks. Defense expert witness, unnamed. Children's testimony ruling, pending. Jury site visit list, due May 15th. Caleb Flynn's plea not guilty. September 17th is the date. 2 weeks of testimony, evidence, and cross-examination. Fatal files will be, in this case, from opening statement to verdict. Subscribe now and be here for all of it. Drop a comment telling us where you are watching from, and tell us what question you most want answered when this trial finally begins.